Okay, Miss Arshita. What's so different about this name Arshita?
So it's very different. It's not a common name that you find easily. Harshita is a very common name, but my father purposely removed the H from my name and gave me the name Arshita, which means heavenly in Urdu.
Heavenly. And can you tell me something about heaven? Because I don't think Islam has heaven.
So Islam does have the concept of Jannat and Jahannam. It does not have gods like it has the Prophet Muhammad, but no gods which it worships. Like it does not believe in idol worship, but it does have the concept of life after death, not reincarnation as in Hindu mythology, but life after death is definitely in Islam.
Okay. Can you tell me something about caliphs? Caliphs in the Ottoman Empire. Anything about that?
The caliphs, I believe, were kings in Egypt and the
Egypt?
Ottoman. Sorry, I'm not very well aware of that.
Okay, tell me something about yourself, Arshita.
So my name is Arshita Kapoor. I was born and brought up in Kanpur, the erstwhile Manchester of the East, which is the industrial and economic capital of Uttar Pradesh and known worldwide for its leather products. I'm currently pursuing chemical engineering from Harcourt Butler Technological Institute. My father is a physician and my mother is a gynecologist. Coming from a family of doctors, I've automatically imbibed the qualities of hard work, sincerity, and compassion. In both school and college, I've had a consistently good academic record, being the school topper in class 12 and overall college topper so far. Apart from academics, I've also been interested in a variety of activities like quizzing, singing, and organizing technical fests at the college. In my spare time, I like reading both fiction and non-fiction, with thriller being my favorite genre. I did my summer training in IIT Kanpur and the other one at Lummus Technology.
You chose chemical engineering. Right. There are several better branches in engineering, and then you now come for MBA. So, was it a pressurized choice of going to chemical engineering, or was it a choice made out of the blue?
No, sir. I had always been interested in chemistry since school level. Although chemical engineering is not completely based on chemistry only, it involves a lot of other branches, and I believe chemical engineering is one of the most versatile branches. Another factor which influenced my decision was that HBTI is world famous for its chemical engineering branch,
Okay.
with its faculty which has a lot of knowledge and has even published papers and written a lot of books. So I believe that was one of the factors which influenced me.
Okay, talking about HBTI, it was named after Harcourt Butler. He came with the commission, Butler Commission. That's why it was named. Can you tell me something about the commission?
So actually,
Which there was a commission which came along with Butler Commission, another commission which came. Can you tell me which commission it was?
I guess according to the timeline, it could be the Simon Commission.
You're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Now you said you have been a good academic student since school. You have been the topper of your college. Okay. So you may have a job.
Yes.
And why go for MBA?
So technically, right now I have only the technical skills. So in a job, I would be confined to only the technical department, and my scope would be very limited. Getting an MBA would provide me a value addition and also broaden my perspective, because my ultimate goal is to be in the decision making process of a large organization. Firstly, I want to gain experience in different domains, and then I wish to specialize in a particular domain, head that department. So for that, I need to have cross-functional experience.
But that you could head by being as an engineer. Just join a good company, explore managerial options in those company. Why specifically go for MBA?
Yes, sir, you're right. That path is also an option, but an MBA would provide me with an accelerated pace of learning. In a job, it would take me around 4-5 years to reach that position, but an MBA would give me that option within 2 years, and also the learning which I could get from my peer group and the faculty would be of immense addition to me.
Okay. Now, talking in simple terms, you are a chemical engineer. Can you tell me what is the composition of different gases in air? Okay.
So the most important component is nitrogen, which is around 79%. Then you have oxygen, 21%, and minor quantities of carbon dioxide, argon, and other gases.
Okay. Now, in general, when divers, you may be about deep water divers who go inside oceans, what kind of gas cylinders do they use?
What kind of gases?
Yeah, do they use oxygen or they use nitrogen mixtures? What kind of mixtures are used in those gas cylinders which they take to breathe inside water?
So I think there are oxygen cylinders with a small amount of nitrogen also.
But now going under such deep, uh, there may be some problems. There will be a lot of pressure. Fine, and they are given suits. Fine, but then oxygen becomes difficult because its constituents get depleting. So tell me, it's not oxygen. What do you think would be the better gas? It should be used with oxygen, which would help in breathing.
So I think nitrogen would be helpful because it does not react with oxygen. It's an inert gas, so it will not cause any negative consequences.
Tell me something about rocket fuels.
So rocket fuels, generally they use hydrogen and oxygen so that they can combine to form water and release a large amount of energy without producing any pollution. And also the side effects will be very less. But this is a developing field, and still a long way we have to go a long way in this direction.
Okay. Tell me something about hydrogen helium cycle. Nuclear fusions have hydrogen helium cycles, right? Can you tell me something about it?
I'm not aware of the technicalities.
Okay. Uh, Simple thing. Um, there is a sun. You may be aware of that. Right. Now, sun goes through a transition, and ultimately it may turn into a black hole. Are you aware of that? Little bit. Can you tell me what are the criterions which define that the star, that is sun, gets completed, it turning into a black hole, or may turn into something different? I'm not aware of that. Now, these things are already taught in chemistry in class 10th, and cycles are already taught. So, how do you justify that being as a good academician?
So we've never been taught about black holes. I mean,
So, a good
people who
academician should be who studies from books?
Yes, I think you're right in that. I missed out on reading about black holes.
Okay. Tell me, okay, I give you a situation. Now, you're traveling in a bus. You have your father, you have your mother. Obviously, you love them, right? Now, suddenly goons attack, and situation comes up where you can save only one of them. Whom are you gonna save?
So that's a very difficult decision to make between my father and my mother. I don't think I can choose any one particular person. Um, Seeing that they have lived their entire life and they've had a complete and full life, maybe if there's a child who can be saved, I would rather save that.
Not save your parents.
But they have had their full life. But I can't save one. If I save one, then I always feel guilty that I didn't save the other.
Okay, now you come here for this institution. You may have received calls from others also. So there may be better institutions like Ahmedabad and all. And if you get a call from there, you may not come to our institution. So how do you justify you giving this interview?
So I want to keep my options open firstly by giving interviews, and coming here has given me the opportunity to interact with such people, most importantly. Then this particular institute provides me a lot of different perspectives that others do not provide. Talking specifically about I am Lucknow, being close to my hometown, I can communicate. I can freely like travel and come to my family often. Another thing, IIM Lucknow is equivalent to other IIMs and the Ahmedabad and Bangalore. I do not feel it's any less than any of the other IIMs. So if I get an opportunity in IIM Lucknow, I would be willing to join it.
Okay. You said about your hobbies. You said you like reading. What else do you do?
So apart from reading in my spare time, after a hard day, I like to go and play and feed stray dogs. I know it's not a usual hobby, but it gives me a lot of joy and relaxation.
Can you tell me something about rabies?
So rabies is a disease which stray dogs get, in which they are very afraid of water.
What are the three symptoms you can see on a dog who is suffering from rabies? Any three symptoms you know of?
So their eyes become very red,
Okay.
and their hair starts to fall out. Um, Another is, I think they die after a few days if they bite somebody
But
else.
then, how would they be classified as symptoms if they die automatically?
No, if they bite somebody else, then they die after a few
But
days.
any dog may bite.
If it's a rabid dog and if it bites somebody, then it would die.
Okay, that is fine. But if I'm talking about a dog, like there is a stray dog, and well, you're very fond of them, so you may go to them. Now, how would you find the dog is mad suffering from rabies?
So I think seeing from far, we can realize that this is a dangerous dog, and
So you live by perception rather than by facts. But then perception does not work too much for a manager.
but even for a manager, intuition is very important. We may have all the facts, but sometimes we do not have all the facts at
Oh,
hand.
that's wrong. For example, it may be possible that, okay, as a manager, a perception is only a part. There are other factors also. What about risk assessment? What about risk assessment? For example, you go as a manager, you love dogs, but that does not mean you may be bitten by a dog.
So I do not go into that, like I do not go so close that they can bite me.
So how do
I
you
like
feed
giving,
them?
I give them food. I don't give them food by my hand, but I give them food because somehow I feel that it's a small task for me, but something good that I'm doing.
Tell me five breeds of any dog. Breeds.
Pomeranian,
Okay.
Labrador, German Shepherd,
Okay.
Alsatian, um, uh, Bloodhound.
Bloodhound. Okay. German Shepherd. Where does the name come from?
In Germany.
Germany. In Shepherd?
Because these were used to protect the sheep. When the shepherds used to go, they used to have a dog with them to help it protect the sheep from the foxes and
There
other.
are famous dog in Australia where and these kind of dogs are used for protecting sheep,
Hmm.
and well, they are known because everyone rears them there. Do you know anything about them?
Sheepdogs.
Not sheepdogs. They have a name.
No.
Okay. Moving on. Now you said, well, fascinated by dogs, fascinated by thrillers. Anything else you do?
Apart from that, I like quizzing, participated in various quizzes in
What was the
school.
last quiz you appeared for?
The last one was a few days ago in my college. It was requisite.
What was the criteria and parameters of judging?
So initially we had a written round, but the problem was that I had been participating in this quiz for the last 3 years. So we had a mutual decision that the older members would not actually participate.
What is the structure of this quiz? What is it about? Content.
So it's a general GK quiz. It has different aspects like business,
So you may
sports.
be good at GK.
Uh,
Okay.
Just Arshita, you said that you liked singing. Recently, one of the singer of South India became a controversial figure. She refused to accept Padma Award. May I know who is? And she's a very famous South Indian singer. She refused to accept Padma Shri Award recently, announced on 25th of Jan this year.
so I'm unable to recollect the names.
Okay. Uh, Recently on Republic Day, who was the chief guest?
He was the king of Bhutan, Mr. Wanglok.
Wanglu.
Wanglok.
Wangluk. Where is he from?
He's from Bhutan. He's the youngest king of Bhutan.
Yes. Okay. What is right now presently Bhutan's condition? Is it a monarchy? Is it a democracy, or is it something else?
So it's a mixture of a monarchy and a
What will
democracy.
you call it? Which form of government will you call?
A mixed government.
Mixed government is not a term. Which form of government UK is having right now?
UK is having a monarchy, but they're not involved in the decision-making process. They're just like a kind of a show, but they don't have any real powers.
So
So
this
basically,
type
it
of
has a
government
democracy.
is having a particular term, is having a particular name. Do you know that one? You know. Okay. Recently, after an incident in Delhi last year on 16th of December, central government has appointed a commission. What is the name of that commission? What is the chairman of that commission?
Justice J.S. Verma.
Justice J.S. Verma. Who were other members of that committee? How many members were that committee?
So I think there were 3 members.
Yeah, including Verma. Who were the other two? There
Myself.
was one woman in that.
Yes.
What is the name? You should know this. And parallel to this commission, one more commissioner was appointed to look after into the role of policemen in our Delhi incident case. Who is the chairman of that committee?
I think it was the Vora Commission.
Also,
That's all. Well, you're not too much aware of your GK. Seems the standards of your college are low. No problem. Okay, Miss Arshita, what is your career goal?
So my career goal is to be amongst the top decision-making position in a large multinational organization.
Okay, and what do you think will be the biggest boulder in your path?
The biggest boulder in my
During
guess,
to achieve this career goal, which will be the biggest boulder?
So I guess my short-term goal is to gain experience in different domains. So the problem nowadays is that people get typecast easily into one domain. So if you start out with something, it's very difficult to shift into something else. So I think that could be a problem, but I'll try from my level to convince my superiors that I have the necessary skills and to put me in into different projects so that I can gain the skills necessary in those areas as well.
Okay. Miss Arshita, what are your weaknesses?
So my weakness is that I'm a little impatient. Mostly I want things to be done very promptly and effectively, due to which sometimes I can lose my patience if that does not happen. But I'm trying to accept that not everything is in my control. Sometimes other people or sometimes luck may also play a factor in that.
And
Another thing is that I think another area of improvement which I feel is that I'm trying to become more articulate and improve my communication skills so that I can.
you have excellent communication skills.
Yes, sir, but that's certainly an area of improvement. Like when I have to address a public gathering, I think there's a lot to be done in that regard. Maybe I could join something like Toastmasters, through which I could improve my public persona.
Okay, Miss Arshita, maybe this interview, if 10 people appear, in 9 are more patient than you. Do you think that will be reducing your chances of selection?
No, sir.
Why?
So because I think I have the required thirst for knowledge and my sincerity which has been
So
demonstrated.
everyone would be having.
Yes, sir.
So what? See, first time you meet anyone, what is something about you that will surprise him or her?
The fact that I'm involved in so many different activities, because looking at me they'll just think that I'm maybe only involved in studies. So I think that would surprise me that I've been involved in different activities.
Whom do you idolize, Miss Arshita?
So in terms of the business personality, I would say Miss Chanda Kochar. Mrs. Chanda Kochar has been a big inspiration. She's also from a middle class family and a very academic oriented person, being the topper throughout her school and college life. Also her simplicity and her desire to take the responsibility is something that I find very closely related. Something I can closely
Any two
relate.
female CEOs, not of India, any two.
I think Ursula and Ursula Mayer. One is Sheryl Sandberg of
Okay, off.
Facebook.
Okay,
Another is Meg Whitman,
off.
HPA.
Sure. Okay, which do you have a laptop? Which laptop do you use?
Dell.
Dell. Tell me what was the controversy about Dell? There was some in the news some days back.
Yes, it related to something that Dell had been made from a public company to a private company again.
How do you make a public company into a private company, or private company into a public company?
So a private company can be made into a public by giving the shares, like listing the shares on a stock exchange, which the public can buy. So that
What
goes
is the
to
difference? What is difference between a private company and a public company?
So private company is completely owned by a few people, and others do not have, like, all the funds and everything is provided by them only or by outside investment. But in a public company, the general public is allowed to get some shares, due to which the company gets funded and they can do their manufacturing and other activities, and the public gets some return in the form of dividends.
Okay, there has been a lot of corruption which comes into picture. There is something which is known as GAR, GAAR, sorry. Can you tell me something about it?
So the GAR is General Anti-Avoidance Rule. Initially we had SAAR, which is Specific Anti-Avoidance Rule, which basically was that if there are any specific loopholes in the taxing system, those can be filled by the authorities if they find that many people are doing it. But in this general anti-avoidance rule, it is very broad based, so it gives a lot of freedom to the tax authorities to interpret it in their own way. Another aspect of this is that we have tax haven nations like Mauritius, Cayman Islands, through which the companies divert their funds. Like they show that they have an office there, but actually.
But then you have to pay some money in Mauritius.
But it's very less. The taxes there are
Okay,
very.
for example, I want to open a fraud company,
Hmm.
and well, I don't want to pay money at any place, or maybe minimum money. Now there may be countries where even less than Mauritius has to be paid, right?
But they have
So
to
how do I do that?
But sir, supposedly you have to do your business in India, so that country has to have a double taxation treaty with India.
I don't like, for example, okay, I want Germany. Germany may not have treaty with India. So how do I involve Germany in it?
So by having a subsidiary in Germany, but your main office should be located in one of the tax having nations.
I want something to come with Germany. How do you make a loop? You say about GAAR, there are two countries involved, right? But how do you make a loop? Loop in the sense that, okay, there are several shell companies operating in a single chain, right? How do you do that?
Yes, seven.
Shell companies operating in the same chain. Tell me something about that. If you're not selected for this interview, Miss Arshita, what do you think will be the primary reason?
So I think my lack of experience as I'm a fresher would probably count against me. But I think I have the necessary thirst for knowledge, which would help me in getting knowledge from different sources from my peers, because they would be having a lot of experience and I could gain from that also. So I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Miss Arshita.